Making 10,000 in USDT, $10,000 is a personal goal I'm focusing on in the next 6 months. And this is something I'm going to be doing in the next 6 months right now. So from the month of July to December, this is what I'm focusing on. So I'm actually going ahead to document my process. So if you actually feel you want to follow this journey, you can go ahead to check out the strategy I'm going to be talking about in this particular video, what I'm going to be using to make this possible. So the first thing which I'm going to be doing is actually using my cryptocurrency area. I'm going to be using the crypto area, and also I'm going to be using the passive income area, and thirdly I'm going to be using token flipping. And if I'm actually going to be focusing on this particular 3 topic, and let's see how far this actually can take us in the next 6 months. So this is a journey for me, and if you want to also join in with me, you can go straight to the comment section and drop a comment. There we can have a way to actually make a community to actually grow this, although I have my Telegram account at the description of this particular video. With that being said, let's go straight into the video. So to make about 10,000 in USDT, we actually have to break it into 6 months. So 6 months is actually going to be breaking into each month, and it's going to be breaking to per day. So for 6 months, in a month, we need to make about 1,666,000 USDT, and that is what we need to make. And roughly in a day, roughly we need to make about $55, right? About $50 to $55, right? So we need to look for a way we can actually make this done in a day very fast, and we are going to focus on cryptocurrency, as I said. So we are going to be using about 60% of this particular target. I'm going to be using the the airdrop, which is I'm going to be hunting a lot of airdrop, right? So I know you don't want to hear about airdrop, but I'm going to break it down for you to be able to see how we can get this done. And we are going to be using about 25% in passive income, which is actually going to be about $2,500, right? So we're going to be getting that in that. And token flipping, which is a new token that is actually dropped in the cryptocurrency platform, where we can actually buy like an early adopter. This is actually going to be focusing about 1,500 USDT, right? So we need to stay consistent, and we need to stay focused in this particular point, because at this point I'm going to be breaking down how we can actually do this with a very low budget. Well, this is actually like my personal plan, so I feel you can actually share from this particular plan and see what you can actually get, right? So let's start up with this particular update. And the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the mining. So mining of cryptocurrency is something we are going to be focusing on, and is actually going to be a very key factor that we can see. So if you actually check lastly in the beginning of this particular year, you are going to see we are focusing on mining, but majority of the platform we actually focus on are not actually ready to pay us because of the way the crypto actually lost when early beginner. You know, people that actually join the airdrop settings, you are going to see what happened in the airdrop, and many people make money and some did not actually make, because when the bad airdrop orders are actually coming into the platform and this. So before I go further, I have a link to the description which links to my Telegram, and that is where I'm going to be looking into some new airdrops. So now we're actually going into airdrop, which are not Telegram airdrop. Is no way around it anymore, because I will not actually advise anybody to go into Telegram airdrop right now. All we are going to is to Mainnet, mining, whatever. I'm going to break it down. We are actually going to see how it's going to go. So we're actually focusing on some chain like LayerZero. Now is one of the platform I really want to stock on, like StarkNet, like Boost is actually some area I really want to focus on in that particular side. So if you actually check out the bridge in fund also, we are going to be looking about the Ethereum, the USDT, how it can actually work us and thereabouts. I don't know if you are getting what I'm actually saying in terms of the plan, the focus I have. I'm going to be using the D app also, where I'm going to be using swapping of token, provide liquidity, vote on keep organics, like a lot right here. And I'm going to be very active every week. the more consistent we become every week, the more we are going to be getting more stuff into this area. So let me just recap all I said in this cryptocurrency area, which is the airdrop. We're going to be focusing on a lot of airdrop, right? So, but this is actually not going to be Telegram airdrop at this particular moment. They are going to be airdrop that we can actually mine through our phone, and also kind of a system. If you have a system, is a good advantage for you to actually get that done. But if you just have a phone, we can currently go into that. So even in a drop, if you can get about $500 in each project, and we closely round up for airdrop alone, I think we can actually get up to like $5,000 in kind of airdrop also, and that is going to be very amazing, right? It's actually going to be very amazing. So there are top airdrops that are actually coming up very soon, and there are airdrops that are coming in the month of June to December, because when we move to the end of this particular year, we have a lot of new projects coming out up, and that's the area we are going to be tracking. Those are the airdrop we are going to be looking for a way to actually get into our system right now. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the LayerZero actually. So LayerZero, we are going to use strategy, we are going to use finance, we are going to be using token bridge to actually get this done. So the StarkNet is actually starting their phase 2. Like the phase 2 is actually coming up. So this is actually going to be for the early adapter. And if you are early into this particular stuff, you can make money right there. So we are going to look also into the ZetaChain. So ZetaChain is like a testnet which we can actually do daily. We have Blast also. There's a platform we have Blast also. All this particular stuff, for you to get the link easily, I'm going to my Telegram account is at the description. So is going to be where I'm going to be dropping this particular link once it actually comes around, and we're going to be using the Furl network also. So there's this particular bridge in Furl network, which is also a testnet app, and we're going to be using the Discourse. We're going to be using a lot right here. So anyone that can give us about $300 to $1,000 is going to be something we are going to depend on, and we are going to be consistent about that particular stuff. So the tips about this particular airdrop is that we are going to be using different wallets for each rotate per week. You can create a free Google Sheet to track your analysis, right? So we are going to be using that also to track how we actually make. We are going to be creating different wallets. I think we are going to be using I'll be using all these particular D wallets, right? So I'm going to focus on the Bybit and also on Bgate, and this is actually going to be the area I'm going to be using for this particular stuff. So I'm going to talk about the passive income also. So if you're talking about passive income, what I'm going to be using in passive income is actually the way I can actually convert the money I have with me to actually make more money. So this is actually going to be a lot of work actually. So I'm going to make a proper video for each area for us to start this particular stuff. So this is my journey, and if you like to journey with me, I'm going to be happy to actually see you following me in this particular process. And lastly, which is the token flipping, and this is the area we're actually going to be getting the latest token in the market right now, how we can actually get them to buy, and when we actually get them, we can look for a way to actually buy very low and sell very high. With all I said, we are going to be needing capital for this, but for the airdrop, you don't actually need the capital. All you need is just your smartphone or your system to get this done, right? So I'm going to try to check your question at the comment section. If you have a question, if you have a lot of stuff you want me to talk about, you want me to address, I'm going to take my time to address that. So this is my journey, and I'm focusing on it for this particular moment. So I think every month I'm going to be making an update on how much we have actually attained, how much we've gotten at this particular moment, and let's see if we can achieve this particular stuff in the next 6 months, right? So this is our goal, and if you actually focus, we can actually make it happen. So I'll see you in my next video, guys.